Everything in the universe is in a constant state of motion, oscillating at specific frequencies. Human consciousness is no exception. Beneath our surface actions and logical thoughts lies an energetic baseline, a fundamental resonance that dictates how we interact with the world and how the world responds to us. When we examine society through the physics of energy, frequency, and vibration, a striking dynamic emerges. The majority of the collective exists in a state of chaotic reaction, while a select few operate as high-calibrating energetic anchors. These individuals do not control through force, they transform through presence. Understanding how they shape reality requires looking at how resonance, constructive interference, and field dynamics operate within human consciousness. 1. The dynamic of power versus force. To understand the energy of presence, we must distinguish between force and power. Force operates in the lower vibrational spectrum, frequencies characterized by fear, 100 Hz, desire, 125 Hz, anger, 150 Hz, and pride, 175 Hz. Force is localized, defensive, and inherently taxing. It requires constant effort, manipulation, and energy expenditure to push against an opposing resistance. Power, conversely, emerges at higher calibrations, beginning at the threshold of courage, 200 Hz, and expanding into acceptance, 350 Hz, reason, 400 Hz, and unconditional love, 500 Hz plus. Power does not push, it pulls. It is expansive, self-sustaining, and quiet. While force causes friction and energetic depletion, a high-calibrating field operates with frictionless ease. High-calibrating individuals do not need to push their will onto the world. By simply holding a stable, elevated state of consciousness, they emit a coherent field that alters the space around them. 2. Entanglement, resonance, and the living tuning fork. In physics, when two vibrating systems of different frequencies are brought near each other, the weaker or less coherent frequency eventually shifts to align with the stronger, more stable one. This phenomenon, entrainment, is the primary mechanism by which presence operates in human interaction. Most people live in a state of high entropy. Their internal signal is noisy, constantly reacting to external stimuli, shifting between anxiety, grief, and temporary satisfaction. When an individual with an unshakable, highly coherent energy field walks into a room, they act as a living tuning fork. Key takeaway: a high-calibrating presence does not argue with lower frequencies, it simply refuses to match their vibration. Because coherence inherently carries more energy than chaotic noise, the surrounding environment begins to entrain to the higher frequency. People standing near a high-calibrating individual often experience an inexplicable sense of relief, clarity, or calm. Their nervous systems drop out of fight-or-flight mode. This is not magic. It is fundamental wave mechanics. Lower, turbulent frequencies organizing in the presence of a steady, high-powered harmonic. 3. How high-calibrating field anchors counterbalance the collective. The energy scale of consciousness is not linear, it is logarithmic. Every incremental rise in vibrational frequency represents an exponential increase in power. Because lower states of consciousness, like fear or apathy, are mathematically weak, it takes millions of individuals vibrating in lower states to produce the energetic footprint of a single person anchored in high states of presence, love, or peace. Without these energetic anchors, human society would quickly collapse under its own emotional entropy, spiraling deeper into reactivity, panic, and division. High-calibrating individuals serve as silent shock absorbers for the human collective, neutralizing massive volumes of environmental noise simply by remaining aligned. 4. The anatomic signature of presence. What does a high-frequency field look like in real life? It is marked by a distinct lack of internal drag, non-reactivity. Lower frequency states are hyperreactive. They grab onto every external stimulus, projecting judgment and blame. A high-calibrating individual experiences the exact same world, but their field possesses zero hooks. Disturbance passes straight through them, without triggering an energetic cascade. Dynamic stillness. High presence is not passive or sleepy, it is intensely alive. It is the deep quiet at the center of a hurricane. This stillness holds the room together when panic sets in. Effortless truth. Because they operate above the frequency of fear and pride, high-calibrating people do not need to defend their ego or prove a point. Their words carry weight because there is no emotional friction backing them, only clear, uncorrupted signal. 5. Cultivating high calibration in daily life. Raising and stabilizing your personal vibration is not about escaping reality. It is about refining your internal antenna, so you can broadcast a clearer, stronger signal. Audit your energetic inputs. Everything carries a calibration: the music you listen to, the media you digest, and the environments you inhabit. Surrounding yourself with chaotic, fear-driven media constantly pulls your baseline below the 200 Hz threshold. Shift from reaction to observance. The moment you react in anger or fear, you step down into force. By creating a brief pause between stimulus and response, you retain your energy and hold your position in the field. Anchor in stillness. Daily practices that quiet the mind, like meditation, intentional breathwork, or spending time in nature, strip away the artificial noise of the ego. Stillness is the foundational frequency of pure presence, the silent infrastructure of the world. We often attribute the progress of society to leaders, institutions, and laws. But on a primary energetic level, society is held together by the silent, unheralded presence of high-calibrating individuals. They are the calm parent in a chaotic household, the steady leader in a crisis, and the peaceful mind in a room full of noise. By remaining grounded in high-frequency states of awareness, they stabilize the human field, lift the collective baseline, and remind us of the immense power found in simply being.